Before we get in today's video, obviously this is the after, right? And it does spin, and you'll see all the issues that I had to sort out when you watch the video. I feel the need to put a warning out here before you watch the video. And for those that post content to YouTube, you'll understand what I'm about to say and why I'm putting the disclaimer out there. If you are easily offended by people that don't do it the way you do, by people that don't do it the way it should be done according to you, or who maybe use some unorthodox methods, right? Basically people that MacGyver stuff, if you understand the MacGyver reference, then this video is not for you. Right? This is the first of the Goodwill Finds series. There's a video that explains what that series is. The whole goal in this video is to take this turntable that was completely dead, trashed, and get it to a point where someone can use it. Is it 100% restored? Absolutely not. Is it worth 100% restoration to resell? Probably not. But to get a turntable from the point this was at to a point where you can enjoy it is the whole focus of this video. So again, if you get triggered by someone who doesn't do it the way you do or the way you think it should be done, you probably shouldn't watch this video. So having said that, let's get into the repair of this Micro Seki MB10 turntable. Alright, on the bench today, Micro Seki MB10. And this one has some interesting issues. So the 402 vinyl just picked up 20 turntables, and I'm going to look at another 20 or 30 or 40 today. So there will be lots of turntable videos coming to the channel. A lot of them are gonna be tables that I've worked on before, so I've already turned and repaired or adjusted, serviced. Was it 4 or 5? 3 or 4? But I'm gonna try to do some of these interesting repairs. So here's what's going on with the Micro Seki. So where is the platter spindle? The platter spindle is here. The platter spindle falls right to the floor. So I have not worked on a Micro Seki before, and this isn't one of their high-end tables. Has a cartridge. What's that? What the heck? I can't read it. Pickering, yeah. So it's got a Pickering cartridge, stylus. Looks like it's probably done, but we'll see if we even get to this point where we can put that back on and test it. Came with a belt, and the belt actually feels pretty good. All right, so let's turn this over and see what the heck is going on with that spindle. Something rattling around the bottom. But I think the turntables I picked up 10. There were 10 Techniques. Denon, a couple Yamahas, Sony. And again, the Techniques are kind of the run-of-the-mill Techniques turntables. Nothing super special in there. You know, I've often wondered what a Micro Seki turntable was like, and I can tell you that's one of the feet. I mean, it's not a very high quality foot there. Not sure if that's complete or not. All right. Again, this one may not be salvageable. Now something was rattling around, and it looks like that's a... What is going on with this? Wow, this is weird. Oh, okay, so that's... So there's a screw in here, and it looks like a bolt snapped. Not sure if that's a plastic bolt. Oh, I see. Oh man, look at that. So there's a bearing, and I think that sits like so, and it looks like that these are plastic. Yeah, oh, I don't know if this one's gonna be repairable or not. I'll have to be pretty creative with this. Probably have to buy a part. So this is cracked. The shaft housing is cracked. This would sit here and you would tighten it down. Yeah. And there's the other screw, or the other nut. Let me get that out of there. Probably not. No. Well, this video is not going to go very far, because I'm likely going to have to buy... Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've got a... My magnet is pretty strong. And okay. How on earth could I... No, I can't fix that. No. Dang, that sucks. Well, Micro Seki is going to need some parts that I'm going to assume are probably not available. Oh, that's a bummer. Crap. Well, I was thinking, what the hell, let's see what we can do. Certainly can't make this any worse. I'll show you what the issue is here. Alright, so the housing for the platter shaft is cracked. And I'm not real sure. It's just kind of brittle. So I'm not sure if that's because it shrank or if someone hit it and forced that down in there. Really not sure. It almost looks like it shrank because I don't know if you can see that little brass, kind of a brass housing in there. And yeah, it's almost like that plastic shrank. Huh. Weird. I mean, I could zip tie that sucker. But the problem is you're going to have oil that's getting all over. And I thought maybe there'd be a way to... Let's see, maybe there is. Sorry, thinking out loud here. Alright, so there's the housing. And that thing is some super flimsy plastic. But I can get it to go together. What I'm wondering is kind of how this fits in there. Yeah, it shrank. That's the problem, it shrank. Ugh. Because I could get that to where it's tight, but this has to sit. Oh, there are two little grooves in there. So the knurled parts go into grooves in here. And I can't tell where those grooves line up. Alright, those grooves line up to where it almost looks like it would go this way. I don't know if that would make sense. Yeah, it was sitting in the right spot before, I think. What I need to do is mark this. I know I'm spending way too much time on a turntable that's probably not salvageable, but I'm thinking the likelihood of finding this part for this is going to be pretty slim. Alright, so that's... Okay, so... Yeah, it looks like that would be just about... Well, oh man, that's close. It goes up a little bit more. Alright. I'm going to clean some of this grease off and see. I'm going to have to mark that. See if I can get it. Okay, let's clean some of this crap off here. Okay, so I've got this aligned, and there's definitely some shrinkage going on here. Well, there's a bearing. Bearing came out of the bottom of the spindle. So I've got to keep that together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie this to hold it, and then totally unorthodox repair here. And I don't ever plan on selling this to anybody. This is just a let's see if I can get it working project. Alright. And I think what I'm going to try is... Ouch. Just bent my nail back. Ow, that hurt. Yeah, no blood. That's good. I think what I'm going to try is... maybe the baking soda super glue trick. To seal these cracks. And I'm worried about down here because if I fill this with some kind of oil, it'll just go all over. I could probably use some lithium grease to grease the spindle in there. Because it's going to sit in there. The plate's going to go on the bottom. I might be able to screw the plate in there. I mean, this is like the jankiest repair ever. Yeah, I think I could probably just fill that. I can fill that. And up here, I can probably squeeze that together. Maybe fill that in. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Well, I'm going to do that off camera though because it's easier, basically. So let me fill that with some stuff. I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alright, well, people say they want to see more of the stuff I do on camera, so might as well do this. So I just move the turntable. So what I'll be doing is super glue, and to do the baking soda thing, you need like liquid super glue. Super glue, baking soda, super glue, baking soda. All right, I'm just gonna try to fill this gap. Start on this side. Oh man. Well, if I can get the cap off the super glue, maybe I won't be able to. Oh man, I had to put that in my vise to get the lid off. Okay, so, whoops, some super glue, and then baking soda. And then super glue and baking soda. Use some of this. And the nice thing about this is cosmetically this can be pretty hideous as you can see it's going to be, but down a little bit, and I don't want to glue that to the, well, I guess if I did glue it, it wouldn't be a huge issue. And super glue, whoops, super glue, reuse some of this baking soda. And again, all I'm worried about is sealing it. All I'm worried about is sealing it, so. Then we'll do the same on this side. Some glue. Baking soda. Some over here. And I think I'm going to put a little bit on the inside here. I gotta be, well, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think on the outside will be good enough. And then let's do a little bit here and here. And all right. All right. Okay. Zoom this back out. Okay. I have no idea if this will work or not. But let's clip these and well, that's solid. It's definitely not gonna baking soda I gotta clean out in here. Well, we have some listening stations in the shop, so this will just go to place where we demo speakers or something if I get this working. All right. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. And maybe I'll use some lithium grease instead of oil on this one. I'm not sure what lubricant is specified for this, but... Or, you know, I've been thinking about putting a turntable in my garage to test phono stage on equipment. I've been using my phone to this point, which is not ideal. And it'd be nice to maybe have a table that's not 100%. Do that with it. Yeah. Nice. I think that'll work. Now, next issue, attaching the plate to the bottom of this. Again, if I use lithium grease, which I'm going to see what that'll feel like. If I use some white lithium, then I don't have to worry about it being sealed. The problem with using grease is that debris will make its way in there. It'll get all gunky. I don't know about the grease. I think that grease is going to be too heavy. Yeah, that grease is going to be too heavy. Nope, needs to be oil. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Although it feels like they used a grease in there. That's what it appeared to be to me. Clean this crap out of there. Now, will I have screws small enough to fit in those? I may have to be creative with how I do that too. All right. Oh, oil is much better. I just don't know about keeping that down in there. Yeah, much better. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is line this up, but I want to put some tape on the bottom of this so that doesn't fall out of there. Because I think I'm going to have to attach this to the top first and then flip it over and figure out this bottom, what we're going to do. That should hold it long enough. There's the washer. It's a different washer, but it's about the same size. Oh, you know what? Those zip ties are going to be too big to get in there. Well, poop. I'm going to have to reattach the zip ties. Let me see. Yeah, it's this top zip tie. I have more, so. You know, actually, I think those should go on top because of the cracks in the plastic. I don't want to screw those. I don't want to tighten those down into the plastic. So I think this would be better. Hopefully those screws don't ride too high. That screwdriver's shitty. That screwdriver's shitty. See if this one works. There we go. All right. Okay, so now we need to see about attaching this base. So the base sits like that. And so my thoughts were that I could drill. Oh, you know what? I could. If I have long enough screws, I can screw into the zip ties. I need to see what I got. Well, in keeping with the completely 100% unorthodox repair, I'm going to use zip ties to hold that bottom plate on. Here's the weird thing. This bottom plate has gaps. So like where the ground wire attaches, it's actually like there's a gap there. So I don't know that this was probably ever sealed. I'd have to look at one of these complete to see if that's supposed to be sealed or not. But again, this is not a turntable that's going to go anywhere, so. Oh yeah, that actually, oh, that's holding on really tight. And I could run a little, oh man. Yeah, that's not moving at all. That is not budging. So let's see what that spindle is like now. Oh yeah. Let's see. Wonderful, it's rubbing. Naturally. Which is fine. And I suspected it might because of the washers here. But what I can do is grab some more washers and elevate the spindle. And it's not rubbing really bad. There's not a lot of friction there, so it's not going to need much in terms of some kind of spacer here, I don't think. I'm not going to tighten these down super tight until I know that spacing's okay. Okay. Oh, it's still rubbing. Alright, I need to find a couple more, or some thicker washers here. See what I got. Alright, found some washers. I think this will work. No rubbing. And I think I'm just looking at, I don't think it's level because those washers aren't exactly the same thickness. So I may have to change one of those out, but or just find 3 that actually match. I just grabbed 3 that I had. And if unorthodox repairs aren't for you, I apologize if this video is making you crazy. But, I mean, this is really a turntable that should probably be thrown away. Or I should find the parts that are most likely not available anywhere. I'm going to turn this on and see what happens. Let's fire it up. That's a spinning turntable. Let's see what the speed looks like. Yeah, I think if I had some, make sure I get washers that are all the same width. I think I have some somewhere. I have to find them. This is my spare phone, so let me get this fired up. So that's 33, 45. Oh, belt came off. Yeah, so belt came off at 45, which makes sense because we're not completely aligned underneath. Because now this sits higher than it did before a little bit. I don't listen to 45 in my garage though, so if I'm going to use this as my garage turntable, as long as 33 is good, then we are good. Well, look at that. A little bit slow, but not bad. 33.1. That's right on the edge of probably being audible in terms of recognizing that the speed is off. Sweet. Have no idea what it sounds like. That doesn't work. Let's see. Oh yeah, that actually does work. This is completely frozen. The bearings are probably toast in this. Yeah, bearings are toast in it. Or it's gummed up, most likely. Have to loosen those. Alright, well, problem number one kind of sort of figured out. I'm going to see if I can get some washers and level this out, though. Alright, so I got it spinning. So I'm going to wrap up part one here. Stay tuned for part two. And let's see how dialed in we can get this turntable.